Hello, I'm David Ward. I am making a movie. I'm making Superman versus the Mechanical Monsters. And every time I make a movie, people ask me, how'd you do that? How'd you do that shot? How'd you do that special effect? And so rather than explain it to you, I'm going to show you. First of all, I'd like to show you, this is a collection of the old Superman cartoon series from the 1940s that Max Fleischer created. The movie I'm making is a remake of a little cartoon called The Mechanical Monsters. And I'm wanting to do it in the style of Sky Captain and the World of Tomorrow. If you've seen it, you know that it's a modern movie, of course, and it was shot, all the scenes were shot on a green screen, or actually a blue screen. They used a blue screen, and that was keyed out, and the backgrounds and the robots were created in they were created CGI, which is computer-generated images. And so I'm wanting to do the same type of thing with my Superman movie, get a 40s feel to it, since it was shot in the 40s. I mean, the cartoon was made in the 40s, and I want to make it look like this movie was made in the 40s. Now, the first thing I did was I shot everything on green screen, and then I took the camera angles that I used and I went into a program called 3D Studio Max. Right here I was working on the robot's toe, which I later finish into his foot. And what I'm doing here is I've taken a cube and I take the vertices, as you can see right here, and I grab a hold of them and move it and kind of just sculpt it, to where I get it like I want. To make it look cool, you select individual polygons like I've done here and extrude them like that, and it raises them up, and then it kind of gives it a framework look. And to make it smooth, you add what's called a mesh smooth, and that's what it looks like after you put the smooth on there. What I've done is I took the toe like we were just looking at, added a foot, and with an ankle here, a shin, and a thigh, and I put in some pistons. So the pistons don't actually make it move, but they're there when it moves, so it gives the illusion of a robot walking, because robots have pistons to move their body parts and whatnot. Okay, here you can see kind of a weird looking mannequin type of thing. What this is called is a biped, which is a plug-in in 3D Studio Max that it gives you a skeleton to put your model that you've created on. And here he is. And that's the finished robot. And now what I need to do is take the rest of the green out. So what I do there is I use what's called a color key. And what that does is it takes apart any color of the screen and makes that color invisible. So as you can see right here, I have this shade of green, and it takes that much out when I selected it. Now we still have some more green, so I have to use another color key, and then that takes out that much more, and I still need some more out, so I use another one. But these points here are, like I said, where the lightning starts and ends, and so every few frames I have to move the points around a little bit to match the movement of my body. So I see these 2 points, watch them, see how they move along with my shoulders. And so I did that again between the two hands. So now it looks like electricity is going across my shoulders and across my hands. That's what I did with that, and then like I said, I had the power lines matching the movement of the body. It kind of looks funny here because there's nothing in front of it. So that's that, and I went ahead and got rid of the green screen. So now we have the power lines without the green. And I went ahead and put the lightning in there. I didn't put lightning on every line here. I just put one bolt to emphasize that the lightning's coming from the power line. So it's pretty much just following the lines. It's not really attached to any certain one. So this is what it looks like with Superman in front of the power lines. Okay, and last but not least, the final background. And there's no special effects or anything that I did to this. It's just a background that I set at the right angle in order to overlap and make it look believable. So now we have the power lines here in front of the background, and Superman is in the very front. It's in the layer system here. So now we have Superman getting electrocuted. Okay, now we have Adobe Premiere, the program that wraps it all together. This is the editing program I use, and I'm editing what you're watching right now, as a matter of fact, on this Adobe Premiere system. It's you can add special effects and just put everything together. I'm going to show you a further detail at how I give the film the way it looks. As I mentioned before, I was wanting to give it a look like Sky Captain in the World of Tomorrow, and that's one way I was trying to do this. Okay, I already mentioned how I put the scene together. Now, to give it the 40s look, I give it a few filters here in Adobe Premiere. First thing I want to do is kind of give it a black and white look. Not totally black and white, but we will definitely take the saturation of the color way down, and I do that by putting a color balance filter on there, and saturation, I take it way down, and you can see it turns it almost black and white. So we'll give it a little bit of color, just a hint. Just to give it a feel. And so now, okay, it's black and white, but when you go to a theater, you see a movie, it's real grainy. It's film grain, and I'm not sure what causes that exactly, but I'm going to try to duplicate that here. And it's called a noise filter, and it's right here. And you can change the amount. I'll go with 10. And that kind of gives it a grainy look, as you can see here. Let's zoom in a little bit. Okay, see the graininess? That's for the film grain. Although this one, you can see color in it, so I'm going to take the color noise off, and now it looks more grainy. So let's see what that looks like there. It's kind of jittery, kind of grainy. Now, one other thing that we notice in the theater is kind of a, well, like with the grain here, we see kind of a jittery effect. So what I'm going to do now is add a strobe light effect. It just gives it enough of a jittery, give the illusion that it's a projector that's showing it rather than a digital video image. That's how I finished my Superman movie. So grab your popcorn and your soda and sit back, prepare to watch Superman versus the Mechanical Monsters.